Spencer Mills 14716 ex-chief or commander, year 2019. Had me shot. He's guilty of he's a sex slave trafficker, and he's guilty of attempted murder premeditated with intent to commit. So is Spencer Mills. He is a serial killing human trafficking cop. Staff Sergeant, year 2019. Guilty of sodomy, sex assault, year 2021. Guilty of kidnapping with a Shelley Hafner or Huffner. There's Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas. Stacy, a mental health worker was here in Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston, because there is more victims there, and also left for deniability in hopes of deniability to further distance herself for the crime she's guilty of. And Shelley Hafner again. Human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, they're all guilty of homicides, attempted homicides, premeditated with intent to commit, guilty of injure, torturing, guilty of my identity theft with intent to frame, with one harbored inmate, dangerous sex offender, one known as Bill Woldridge, 149 Center Street, North Napanee, bald glasses, frequent silophenale and coffee cravings, untouchable, unarrestable. There is also Blair Hardy, boyfriend to Spencer Mills. He is a drug trafficker, drug lacer, obsessed homosexual, guilty of multiple homicides here in Napanee with Billy Woldridge for OPP. There's Tyler Teabag Lake. He is guilty of homicides and animal murders. Jason Van Alstyne, guilty of 3 murders, attempted murder on me, and being involved with the murder of my dog in March. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne, guilty of, well, I think I just said him. There's a Dale Hartwick, aiding OPP for drop charges and free drugs. Tony Hearns, aiding OPP for free drugs. They're also speedheads and traffickers. Meth labs, speed, meth, crack, fentanyl, lacing drugs to cause homicides, to make it look like just that, an overdose, but done with intent to commit murder. Using remote neuromonitoring on victims to fry their fucking brains, to lobotomize them, keeping them medically blacklisted to prevent help, having the hospital falsely charge them through lies and bullshit against them to prevent them proof, while being tortured. This is the OPP right here in Napanee, and every one of these pieces of garbage named need to be arrested because they are seriously fucking dangerous and need to be in jail. Nobody here is arrestable. Damage is done to me. Even the hospital CEO here at Lennox and Addington Hospital is guilty of attempted murder, along with patient relations, along with Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, name and file falsifier, medical blacklister. How OPP are committing their crimes and getting away with them and having them covered up, and how the hospital and doctors are committing their crimes and having them covered up through OPP. They're washing each other's hands using badges, positions, credentials, crimes against poor, homeless, elderly, disabled, because they know once they cast their lies against their victims, there's no chance of help. Human rights violations, legal violations, guilty of domestic terrorism, guilty of treason, and murdering an entire bloodline for revenge retaliation because I spoke up to try to save lives against these pieces of shit.